Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I welcome you to lecture number 25 of the series. Well, dear students, in this lecture we are going to wind up lesson number 7, which I have already told you is one of the most important lessons in your syllabus. In today's lecture, we are going to take up word synonyms from lesson number 7, then the short answers, and finally the one-liner questions. Today's lecture is very important because all these things which we are going to discuss today are going to be written in your NEET English register, each and everything. You need to make sure that everything is written down in your NEET registers. So let's get started with our today's lecture. First of all, the slide coming up is of word synonyms or vocabulary building. So let's go to the business and all. Well, gentlemen, this is a very important slide being displayed on your screens right now. It contains all the important vocabulary from lesson number 7. Let's begin with the first word, a very important word. Startled. Basically, startle is a verb. Startled and startled are its past forms, but here it is being used as an adjective. So its synonymous words are surprised, shocked, stunned, amazed. Next word is damp, which also is an adjective. It means moist, soggy, wet, or dank. Eye up. Eye up means look at, stare at, ogle, or gaze at. Distrustfully is an adverb. It means suspiciously, doubtfully, skeptically, or incredulously. Steady is also an adjective. Its synonymous words are stable, firm, constant, or unwavering. Flushed is also an adjective. It means red-faced, glowing, reddened, or colored. Rapidly is an adverb. Fast, quickly, speedily, or hastily, or briskly, or swiftly, whatever. Profusion. Profusion is a noun. It means abundance, excess, plenty, or loads. Trial shot is a phrase. It means it is a noun. Guess, hunch, conjecture, inference. Coaxed is one of the most important words in the lesson, which is a verb. It means cajoled, persuaded, sweet-talked, or lured. Disgust. Disgust is a noun. Abhorrence, sicken, repulsion, or revulsion are its synonymous words. Clawed is a verb. It means scratched, pierced, scrabbled, smashed. Instinctively is an adverb. Its synonymous words are impulsively, spontaneously, inadvertently, unintentionally. Break in is again an idiom and a verb. It means interrupt, cut off, butt in, interfere. Admonish is also one of the very important words in the lesson, which is a verb. Its equivalent words are reprove, rebuke, reprimand, or scold. Hysterically is an adverb. Its equivalent words are uncontrollably, wildly, violently, or frantically. Grasped is a verb. Its synonymous words are grabbed, gripped, seized, clutched. Some of the words are given in the next slide. So now we move on to the third slide of our today's lecture. Dear students, this slide is a continuation of the previous slide, which carried the important vocabulary from lesson number 7. Let's complete this slide first, then we will move on to the short answers. Next word is clenched, which you can see is an adjective. Its equivalent words are clasped, clamped, tightened, or closed. Desperately is again an adjective. Its synonymous words are helplessly, frenziedly, frantically, or urgently. Splinters is a noun. Its synonymous words are fragments, particles, pieces, chips. Desist. Desist is a verb. Desisted are its form. It means ceased, stopped, abstained, or ended. Next word is unreasoning, which is an adjective. Its equivalent words are illogical, irrational, absurd, or stupid. Gagged as a verb. It means stifled, suffocated, choked, or suppressed. Valiantly is an important word, which is an adverb. Its synonymous words are intrepidly, bravely, courageously, or gallantly. Well, gentlemen, you are supposed to write all the vocabulary in your neat English registers, please. Well, gentlemen, this is the most important slide coming up. It carries all the short answers from lesson number 7. Some of the answers are on the next slide, so you are required to please note each and every answer down in your neat English register. Let's take up the first question. What was the condition of the parents on the arrival of the doctors? डॉक्टर के पहुंचने पर वालिदैन की क्या हालत थी, क्या कैफियत थी? The parents were extremely nervous on the arrival of the doctor as they did not know what to tell the doctor about the sickness of the child. I repeat, the parents were extremely nervous on the arrival of the doctor as they did not know what to tell the doctor about the sickness of the child. Number 2. What was the behavior of the girl towards the doctor? बच्ची का डॉक्टर के साथ रवैया कैसा था? The girl was stubborn and rude in her behavior towards doctor. She kept staring at the doctor with her cold and steady eyes. She also attacked the doctor when he tried to examine her throat. Question number 3. She had fever for 3 days, hadn't she? The answer is yes. She had fever for the last 3 days. Number 4. Did the girl change her expression when the doctor said, "Does your throat hurt you?" The answer is no. She neither changed her expression nor did she comply with the instructions of the doctor. Instead, she kept staring at the doctor with her cold and steady eyes. I repeat, no. She neither changed her expression nor did she comply with the instructions of the doctor. Instead, she kept staring at the doctor with her cold and steady eyes. Number 5 is a very, very important question. Why did the doctor call the sick girl by her first name? डॉक्टर ने बच्ची के पहला नाम लेकर बच्ची को क्यों मुखातिब किया? The doctor called the sick girl by her first name in order to develop communication with her so that she might pay heed to his instructions and open her mouth up for examination, which she did not do. I repeat, the doctor called the sick girl by her first name in order to develop communication with her so that she might pay heed to his instructions and open her mouth up for examination, which she did not do. The last question on this slide is, did the sick girl promptly respond to the instructions of the doctor? क्या बीमार बच्ची ने फौरन ही डॉक्टर की हिदायत पर अमल किया? No, she did not respond to the instructions of the doctor at all. Instead, she kept looking at the doctor with no expression on her face whatsoever. I repeat, no, she did not respond to the instructions of the doctor at all. Instead, she kept looking at the doctor with no expression on her face whatever. Some of the questions are given on the next slide, so we move on to the next slide now. Question number 7. Why did the parents rebuke the child or rebuke her? Let me tell you that this is the most important question of the lesson. This has been there in the board exams many times. You are required to please pay attention to this question. Why did the parents rebuke her? Rebuke का मतलब होता है डांटना. उसको क्यों डांटा? वालिदैन ने बच्ची को क्यों डांटा? The parents rebuked her because she misbehaved with the doctor, attacked him, and knocked his glasses flying away on the kitchen floor. I repeat the answer. The parents rebuked the child because she misbehaved with the doctor, attacked him, and knocked his glasses flying away on the kitchen floor. Question number 8. What was the threat of the doctor to the child if she did not open her mouth? अगर बच्ची ने मुंह नहीं खोला तो डॉक्टर ने उसको क्या धमकी दी? The doctor threatened the child that if she did not open her mouth for examination, then they will have to do it forcefully. डॉक्टर ने कहा था, अगर बच्ची से कहा था कि अगर तुम खुद अपना मुंह नहीं खोलोगी तो फिर हमें ज़बरदस्ती तुम्हारा मुंह खोलना पड़ेगा. The doctor threatened the child that if she did not open her mouth for examination, then they will have to do it forcefully. Question number 9. Why did she break the wooden blade? उसने लकड़ी वाला ब्लेड क्यों तोड़ दिया? This is also very important question. When the doctor put the wooden blade behind her teeth, she could not stand the pain and resisted it strongly, held the blade between her molars and reduced it to splinter. Molars कहते हैं दाढ़ों को. When the doctor put the wooden blade behind her teeth, she could not stand the pain, resisted it strongly, held the blade between her molars and reduced it to splinters. Question number 10. What was the condition of the tonsils of the sick girl? बीमार बच्ची की tonsils की क्या हालत थी, क्या कैफियत थी उसके गले में? The tonsils of the sick girl were in a really very bad shape. They were covered by a membrane. Had they not been diagnosed, the girl would have died. I repeat, the tonsils of the sick girl were in a really very bad shape. They were covered by a membrane. Had they not been diagnosed, the girl would have died. Number 11. How did the girl look by appearance? She was an unusually attractive little child with magnificent blonde hair in profusion. By her appearance, she looked as strong as a heifer. I repeat, she was unusually attractive little child with magnificent blonde hair in profusion. वो एक इंतहाई गैर मामूली खूबसूरत बच्ची थी जिसके बाल बहुत ही शानदार, सुनहरी और घने थे. By her appearance, शक्ल के एतबार से she looked as strong as a heifer. वो इस कदर मजबूत दिखाई देती थी जैसा कि गाय की बछड़ी. Last question. What does the writer try to justify in the story? मुसन्नफ स्टोरी में क्या जवाब पेश करने की कोशिश करता है? The writer tries to justify the use of force against the child. I repeat, the writer tries to justify the use of force against the child. His professional ethics demand from him to save the life of the patient at all cost. The girl refused to get herself examined, but the doctor could not leave her unattended to die. He had to use force for her own protection. I repeat, the writer tries to justify the use of force against the child. His professional ethics demand from him to save the life of the patient at all cost. The girl refused to get herself examined, but the doctor could not leave her unattended to die. So he had to use force for her own protection. In this way, actually, the writer tries to justify his use of force against the little girl because she was not aware of the consequences if her disease could not have been cured. So gentlemen, we have moved on to the last slide of our today's lecture, which contains the one-liner questions from lesson number 7. I have mentioned it over and over again that the purpose of these one-liner questions is to make you go through the whole story so that you first of all come to know what actually is the story, and then you may be aware of all the short answers and the multiple choice questions or true false statement if anything is taken from the text, from within the text itself. So you are required to answer these questions in your NEET English registers. Well, let me also clear here that the soft copy is to be shared with the teacher and hard copy is to be dispatched of your homework is to be dispatched to the college, and homework is assigned on every Friday. Let's go on to the last slide. Question number 1, name the author of the story. आपने स्टोरी के राइटर का नाम बताना है. नंबर 2, वेयर वॉज द गर्ल केप्ट बाय द पेरेंट्स. वालदैन ने लड़की को कहाँ रखा हुआ था. नंबर 3, व्हाट वाज द फी ऑफ द डॉक्टर. डॉक्टर की फीस कितनी थी. हाउ डिड द गर्ल लुक बाय हर अपीयरेंस. शक्ल के एतबार से बच्ची किस तरह की दिखाई देती थी. व्हाट वाज द कलर ऑफ द हेयर ऑफ द गर्ल. लड़की के बालों का रंग क्या था. नंबर 6, व्हाट हैड हैपेंड टू द गर्ल. बच्ची को क्या हुआ था. आपने बताना है कि बच्ची को क्या बीमारी थी, क्या मसला था. नंबर 7, व्हाट वाज द नेम ऑफ द गर्ल. बच्ची का नाम क्या है. अब अगर आप स्टोरी नहीं पढ़ेंगे तो आपको किसी सूरत बच्ची का नाम नहीं पता चलेगा. नंबर 8, व्हाट वाज द डिजीज दैट ब्रोक आउट देयर इन द लोकेलिटी. उस इलाके में जो वबा फैली थी उसका क्या नाम था. उस वबा का नाम क्या था या उस बीमारी का नाम क्या था. नंबर 9, हाउ डिड शी फाइट विद द डॉक्टर. डॉक्टर के साथ उसने किस तरह जदोजहद की, किस तरह लड़ाई की. नंबर 10, व्हाट डिड द गर्ल डू विद द ब्लेड. वो ब्लेड जो डॉक्टर ने लड़की के मुंह के अंदर रखा, लड़की ने उसके साथ क्या किया. नंबर 11, फॉर हाउ मैनी डेज द गर्ल हैड बिन हाइडिंग हर सोर थ्रोट. कितने दिन से बच्ची अपने इस खराब गले को छुपा रही थी. नंबर 12, व्हाट वाज देयर इन द थ्रोट. बच्ची के गले में क्या था. बच्ची के गले में क्या था. नंबर 13 इज द लास्ट वन लाइनर क्वेश्चन. व्हाई डिड द पेरेंट्स कीप द गर्ल इन द किचन. वालदैन ने बच्ची को बावर्ची खाने में क्यों रखा हुआ था. वेल जेंटलमैन, दिस वाज आवर लेक्चर नंबर 25 and this also concludes our lesson number 7. In our next lecture we will be taking up play number 2. You already know that we have done play number 1 and there were questions from play number 1 in your first term exam. So from tomorrow we are going to take up play number 2. I would ask you to be ready for it. With that, I am signing off with all the best wishes. God bless you all and take very good care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.